And we are starting with Hot Potato. Another heist map. Let's see who will complete their run today and come out of this one still not having dropped a single set today. Colt is left open this time around and immediately going to be picked up here. You can open up the map. Despite Pierce not being on the table, that's still a good strategy on this map. And you have a lot of damage with the Brawler as well. Clancy's left open, picked up from the left-hand side. They're probably looking into some tanks here, Ark.
Potentially so. I'm looking to see Kaze here myself. I mean, I'm so upset that the Colt was let through on a map like this. I mean, it's just so scary as a brawler. I kind of also have a few question marks as to whether Big Talent's even prepared for these maps at this stage of the competition, because no doubt they did not expect to make the grand final. So draft-wise, I'm gonna be reserved slightly. Sorry, Spur, I know you're looking at me like that, but you know, sorry.
They just need to pick Nani now, right? In our hot takes from Berlin, Nani's the best counter to Melody.
Yeah, they need to make all skins exclusive, including Challenger Colt, Golden Colt, Silver Colt. There's all the Colt skins, more skins than on the planet. Coming back to the draft there, I have to agree with you, Ark. I think it's a risky proposition to allow the Colt through in its current buffied, steroided state. There's just so much potential with this brawler, whether you want to angle it as a wall breaker, as just main damage dealer. Yeah, you can even stack it up with Rico now, yet another brawler that recently saw some slight reworks. The projectile speed is a lot closer to Colt's now, so even in a completely open map, you've got so many options.
And they might not even want to break open the map right now.
Yeah.
With Rico on your own roster, that's such a clever draft. If you pick Rico first, the opponents are just going to open up the map. If you pick Colt first, you get a Rico for free because nobody in their right mind will still pick him up next. We still have a couple of aggressive options open. I fear a BB here. Just something to deal some really hefty damage onto safe. It's going to be the opposite. It's going to be something to defend that Melody on the left-hand side. So they have Rico and Colt now to deal some damage. It's going to be a very slow game, which we don't often see from Foot Esports.
I like that Otis pick. It's a great shutdown with the Melody. They could try and bring something to the table like a Lily, which is banned out here though, having said that. So they do need something as some force potential. And tanks now...
Kaze still?
It's, yeah, but again with the Colt, I just wonder can Kaze kind of push forwards the map, but people are going to be able to play. And I'm not a massive fan of it. I would probably have preferred the Kaze over that, honestly.
Pretty creative. I can understand the support behind it. They already have a tremendous amount of damage in the form of Melody and Clancy. They need some kind of anti-control potential. But Ark, when that map gets torn apart by Guesty, inevitably, it's going to happen in the first minute or so. Big Talents don't really have much of the range to compete. They're a massive timer.
Last match of the day. I'm ready for a banger, and Big Talents and Foot Esports sure will deliver one. This is the first map of our grand finals here in EMEA.
And here we go for Esports on the top side. Surely going to be looking for an early break of the map, but mine immediately puts Nob in that Manchester Meeple gadget. Got to heal himself though. I mean, Ness with a pinch potential here between Guesty and Nob. Can't go too aggressive just yet.
Yeah, just playing a really passive game at the moment. But it's Foot's Esports that are firmly in the driver's seat. Angel Boy already encroaching here on that left side up against Dompe. All these angles making it impossible for Clancy to do anything here. It's a terrible matchup, but Dompe is somehow holding his own.
Angel Boy gonna have to retreat back, and the Bouncy Castle gadget will give him some additional heals to allow him to stay in position. Guesty there in the mid does clear up and gets straight onto the safe now with damage. It's also being returned as Ness gets on the safe and gets that first crack, and actually puts Big Talent slightly in the lead by 3%.
Both teams going blow for blow here with that first layer of shielding still online. It's a slight advantage for Big Talents, now taken away. Guesty is in prime position to just lay into the save, but Dompe, a good dash there, brought him down.
Nice there from Nob, got the mute to hand, but didn't use it. Decided to just accept defeat there. Angel Boy through the mid, looking fierce yet again. Ness, no super, not really going to be that much of a threat. Nob trying to keep his distance, using a fat splatter gadget as well for helping hand. And now he's on a hypercharge as well, so he can go back on defense in just a moment after. Well, maybe he's going to respawn in and go on the defense. Good there from mine.
A good usage of the super there, didn't even commit the hypercharge, opting to save it for a better, perhaps one push that could happen down the line, maybe when Clancy gets up to level 3. But nonetheless, though, Ness here now gets muted up there by not. Beautiful usage there of the hypercharge by Mine to once again stop Guesty, but his move speed is just too quick here. Ness is gonna have to come in for that cleanup.
No way does Guesty get this. He gets this! Ridiculous, and he's still there! They've got no answer for him, and he's surviving on by a thread, but just bought so much time for his team there as well. And unbelievable stuff there from Foot Esports, who are just now looking so confident in the lead. There is still time for Big Talents to get a push done.
It's the last push of the game here. 19 seconds on the clock here. Guesty pops the hypercharge though. Goes for one, goes for two, and a triple kill for the Wonder Child, shutting down my hopes and dreams and Big Talents as well in this game number 1.
That man is untouchable. Unbelievable survivability from Guesty. And it's just the first game. And that felt very, very strong. A great showing from Foot Esports. Big Talents, though, still absolutely in this. Just not a massive fan of the draft so far. We need to see more from players like Ness on that Melody pick to get on the safe to bring home the goods. He's the playmaker here.
It's very difficult here, though. All 3 lanes just kind of bad matchups, honestly, for all 3 of the brawlers. Their only Mine was really holding their own there. And the only reason why you see Foot Esports just going so slow is just how disciplined this team has been playing. They're respecting the Melody, they're respecting Dompe, not feeding any supers on either side.
Nice chip damage there from Angel Boy, and just getting a little bit of chip onto Mine. Now the follow-up kill himself. Dompe onto the safe. Guesty still remaining untouched on that top right-hand side. Still surviving on as Angel Boy. He's not moved. Like, they've got to start to deal with him now, and Mine does finally, but it's cost them a crack at the safe.
Well, they are shielding down. Big Talents not going to be too pleased about that. They have to get one back on their own. At the moment, though, the strategy is sound. They are waiting for Mine to slowly come forward, perhaps get a Meeple's mansion down. You know, block down Angel Boy, though, but Dompe gets committed on by Guesty. Mine takes down Angel Boy, but the flank on the right is wide open.
It's the Trojan Horse to allow Guesty to get onto the safe, isn't it? So focused on Angel Boy on that top left-hand side. And that damage gear is brutal. He just is so slimy. Guesty, what are you doing? Dompe only just survived the interaction. It's ridiculous. Ness now, though, on the safe gets to crack, but still so much work to be done here by Big Talents.
They need an excellent one push. They need hypercharges to come online from all 3 brawlers to make it happen. Mine is trying to pinch out Angel Boy, but he's just so sustainable with that healing. Now we see No with a hypercharge of his own. Gets the stun there onto Mine. Gonna auto-aim him down here. And once again, the Trojan Horse, the Wonder Boy Guesty, left unchecked to rain hell on the safe.
There's always not there to get a 3-piece as well. For Esports are just... again, like I said, coming into the match, target practice. This is what it feels like. It just feels like it's child's play. Now just 4% left. Can't quite get it done, though. But I feel like it's just a matter of time before Angel is going to push his way forward. He's got a hypercharge too. Gets on the right-hand side as well. Going to find a super, and this might be the moment when they get it done. They do. But Esports take the first set, and it wasn't even close.
You allow the Colt to go through in the first pick. You grimace at it, you think to yourself, why did I put myself in this drafting position? And then you pick up Clancy Melody, neither of the brawlers, and any kind of address to that Colt. And yeah, we're gonna see this interaction once again where Guesty, I don't know how he survived that even.
But Esports is just continuing to show us draft truly is an art in itself. Picking up that Colt first and then deciding to not open up because you also have a Rico on your comp. Just, yeah, so creative, so intelligent, really, really nice from Foot Esports. They, for me, had clearly the better draft in this one. They also just played out of their minds. The 2 of you were absolutely going off here at the desk at Guesty, just surviving and surviving. And finally falling to Dompe, but he already did so much damage to save that it was just too late.
I gotta say, for Guesty, he took a lot of criticism last month as well because, they just went to double match point in the grand finals and didn't be the one to come out on top. I mean, people were saying and questioning, is he overrated? No, he's not overrated. It's exactly what we're saying this whole entire time. His mechanics are just unreal. And, I mean, what has he got to do to win over the majority in that regard? He's unstoppable, and I'm just so pleased to see a rookie like him this year be as consistent as this.
The critique that Foot Esports was facing after last month was that they play a bit too over-aggressive. I feel like they slowed down a lot. I was already saying coming into the draft, they're now picking a bit more, support brawlers, slow, passive, and they're playing and showing us a different style of Foot Esports, and they're still winning with it, so keep it coming. Big Talents this time around with the first pick here. Sirius, Crow, and Chester are going to be banned out from the right-hand side, so Rico is their first pick on Hard Rock Mine. it's a tried and tested brawler here, has always been super strong on Hard Rock Mine. I just feel like we have reached an era where maybe there's a couple of other brawlers that are even better now. You can still open up the map. You can still play something aggressive against him. Just chase him with a kit, for example. Maybe a Leon. And what does Rika do then? Leon, of course, first needs his super. That could be a little bit of a struggle until he has that. Rika is going to win the lane matchup, but as soon as he has it, he's probably just going to cycle it.
It's going to be a disgusting brawler. Super on the aggressive, assassination attempts left, right, and center. And we've seen it so often globally banned here at the BSC as well, not just in EMEA, but also in East Asia, to let it escape through. I was thinking Clancy to come through as well here. It's definitely a much better place for that brawler. Definitely could be a good EMS map here, potentially. RT on the cards here. But, I mean, what Foot are already bringing to the table is just so scary.
Yeah, and you know, the lead out with Rico, it just kind of spells that you're not really cooking up anything that's like what we've seen in the past few comps. You know, they've slowed down as well. Like, big talents are no longer just going double assassin and disrespecting Foot in the same way that they disrespected Na'Vi and Humble. And Foot are not making it easy either. I think they found the best sort of, you know, combinations of picks here. They're covering all their bases really nicely. And they're not letting big talents get an easy draft. They're still going to lean back to a little bit of that flair that they've displayed going back to this Ali selection. But it's a double-edged sword, right? Yes, it's something that can dive the gem carrier, but we haven't even seen Foot reveal theirs. You know, they could just go for something like a Janet now, and it's going to be so easy to deal with this.
Penny is going to come in here as the gem carrier of their choice. Once again, a brawler we don't see too often, but has showed up quite some time this monthly final. Clancy is going to be the gem carrier on the right-hand side now, with Kenji being the last pick. So they have two fairly aggressive brawlers once more. This is an old Foot Esports special. I just mentioned, like, maybe they were a bit too aggressive last month, the monthly final. But they're doing it again. Let's see if it works out this time around. With Penny in mid, I think it could work. Penny can't really evade a situation where Leon and Kenji just collapse over her.
Yeah, it definitely could work. I feel like Kenji, though, is so dangerous. It's kind of like the obvious pickup where you've got that full ban as well as the Mortis. Like, where do you go after that? Ali, though, I think could have an edge here. It's just going to come down so much to how big talents can handle this. But the draft isn't a bad one. It's against a team like Foot.
It's a bit too formulaic for me, and I'm not a big fan of the Penny here. I love the team, but this pickup, you can see Dompe just struggling against Angel Boy now. It doesn't even have that great of matchups, and you know, the whole idea behind it is to try and delay Nob as long as possible, but in the modern bit of Clancy, can't really do that. At least, big talents are getting quite a lot of kills here. Huge connections being made here. Mine dives in there with all the gems. Somehow manages to get out.
Only just Guesty is on the hunt. Now has to reveal himself, but Mine is still low. Angel Boy, though, forced back as Ness coming back in off that spawn. Big taps from Guesty, but he's got to time these shots now. These alley jumps are just so fierce to deal with. But Esports now have to re-earn these gems from the mid and buy so much time for themselves.
Difficulty with Mine holding all the gems. I think he'd much rather find a way to die safely here, but there's no safety when you're up against Angel Boy and Guesty, especially when you lose your actual gem carrier in the mid. Big talents, slowly but surely, they're losing ground.
Guesty has a hypercharge, but is now taken care of by Mine. The hypercharged mortar of the Penny and the gadget as well. Good measure. All put big talents back in the middle of the map here. Mine wins the left-hand side, still doing very well to hold these gems, but Guesty finds Dompe, but Dompe finds the wall in just the nick of time and saves that gem.
Guesty's biggest counter is indeed the wall, but nah, he beats out Ness here. Just runs straight to him that time. Mine now, 6 gems, can't play aggressively as he would like, but he may be forced to do so. They're being pushed back against the wall, no way out. Mine goes aggressive onto Guesty, but it's 11-6 in gems.
Angel Boy can still go on the aggressive here with hypercharge. Sucks in Mine and gets the kill, oh my word! By a pixel, no less! And he's still not done yet. Nonetheless, those gems for Foot are safe and sound with Nob, and there's no time. I didn't think that Rico Super could have maybe had something of a play, but he would have had to have just dissipated the entirety of that HP, and it was not able to do so. For Foot Esports still, regardless to losing those gems, that's really the only glimmer that we've seen from big talents. They bought so much time for themselves despite it, and that's what I'm saying. This team, they're just impenetrable.
I think you have to see bigger risks being taken by big talents here. Mine, he just played so safe after he got those 6 gems and never really wanted to do so. At the very least, he's winning his matchup here up against Guesty on the left, and the mid situation is developing to go in big talent's favor. Big super there from Ness. Should be able to get the pinch here onto Nob, but no, Ness last minute staying alive. Dombe's got to get the pinch here. Guesty swaps lane, takes down Ness. And all said and done, Guesty's got 4 gems to his name.
Now it's Guesty who's going to be carrying the gems, of which he does not really want. Goes down now at the perfect time for Nub to come in. I mean, that's perfect. If Nub can just escape these mortar flames on the map. Angel Boy coming in, support, and that right-hand side is now clear. Ryan is lurking, Nub finds him. That's great game sense. It really is.
You can just smell him, and even with Guesty, the timing when Guesty chooses to die is picture perfect. This guy not only knows when to go aggressive, but even when to feed, and it's just so, clinical for esports. As you said, they're just this impenetrable force right now. But big talents, they have one more shot to do this. They have only 2 brawlers at their disposal now. They need to choose a target between Nob and Angel Boy. Can't seem to decide on a single one. Can't seem to do anything either. Okay, mine takes down 1, but it's just a gem transfer back to Nob, and we're back to square 1.
Guesty won't have the hypercharge coming in for this next push. The big talent. Oh, look at this positioning from Nob. I love this. Oh, look at that. The escape as well. That's just absolutely disgusting. And rubbing it in with the Protesto. I absolutely love that. The Buffy's gadgets now allowing that invisibility turret to be aimed. That lollipop drop acted as the perfect, like, vanishing cloak. And like, they know it themselves. It was such a cheeky way to win it. I mean, that's just, I think even big talents find the funny side of it, honestly.
Getting humiliated like that, though. Foot are not playing around. They're not playing with their food. They know that they had the better comp there, I think, at least the one that's a little bit more coherent. And on the side of big talents, they're not playing confidently as they did in the last 2 matches. And I don't know if that's just the foot effect, coming in knowing that these guys are the Titans, the Goliaths. You look at a wonder child like Guesty, and that's who you aspire to be as a rookie, and maybe that puts some sort of pressure on you.
I think Arc also made a good shout before how they might have just not prepared these maps as well as the quarterfinals and the semis, because yes, maybe they were hoping to get into the semis. They might not have thought they would actually make it this far. So far, so good though, still for them. It looks like they have some fight still in them, and I do hope we get to see them take the next 2 sets, because I finally want a close match today. We had so many 3-0s, I don't want another one.
I'm with you, but it's again that same thing between my head and my heart, and my heart says, let's go all the distance. Let's end the day all the way. My head, though, sadly, from what I've seen so far, it's just all with foot still.
Yeah, my head says, big talents are very good, but it's for the esports. They're just
different beast.
They're even better. They're just the best in EMEA right now. They made that clear today once more. It was all about seeding in the Brawl Cup between Humble and them. Humble unfortunately dropped to this exact team, Big Talents, in the quarterfinals. So now Foot Esports, for now, have cemented themselves as the best team in this region.
The Talents have a long road up from here if they still want to keep my dream alive of being EMEA champions. But it's not just for me. I think it would be a big statement for them coming into the season. They are ranked 13, and a single win for them could skyrocket them up the leaderboards for that summer split. Yeah, Ness is still not looking pleased. I think he's really having a headache here drafting up against Foot, and honestly, I don't blame him.
Yeah, I feel like, if big talents can just do something, maybe not even win the whole thing, but just demonstrate that Foot Esports can bleed going into Brawl Cup, then it would be, even in itself, an achievement to be said. But so far, Foot Esports are just one step ahead. Ziggy going to come out then on the side of big talents, a brawler that I love. But again, it's just all about the practice coming into this, and this is not a map that they would have had to have done otherwise.
And Ziggy has been one of the global bans before of Foot Esports, so good choice picking him against that team. They seem to not like him. On the other side now, I really love a Rico on a map like this one, just super strong down the mid. Byron is a brawler we see very often, and pair it with something aggressive would be very good into a Ziggy, I might add here. Maybe we're gonna see some more aggression later from them. Angelo is gonna be their first pick though. It's an interesting choice. We see him very often on Goldarm Gulch, as there is some water where he usually shines. He's now coming out also on Bell's Rock. I guess he's just the best long-range brawler when Pierce is global banned, so that makes sense. Byron is still going to come out, so still the potential for some aggression on the side of Foot.
They've left it open for them. They've just snatched up two of the, I would say, not just the best sharpshooters, but also the most versatile. Set themselves for a last pick, perhaps go for aggression. Or if Big Talents draft themselves into a corner, you know, you could have some surprise throwers come into the mix. Maybe you just go for a Rico mid, keep things nice and clean and simple. I like this setup there from Foot. Doesn't leave vulnerabilities there, but Big Talents though. They're gonna snatch up this Ollie plus the Ziggy. If they go for the Pierce here, this is effectively a repeated draft from an East Asia comp we saw last year.
I think Gus to combine this Ollie could be a good way to get that push forwards potential. I'm sure that for Esports were looking for this Ollie. They pick up the buyer and it's like that perfect brawler to combine with it. So Big Talents know that they kind of have to consider something like this to take it away at this stage of the draft. So how are they going to fare? I might shout to go Bell. Wow, not kind of how I saw it going, but a brawler which can absolutely get value on this map, cycling those nest eggs as time goes on. It's not bad.
No heals for this Ollie. Still, they're very good at the beginning of the game with the Ziggy and the Bell. And then they're also pretty good at long game. Once the smoke comes in from the side, they have the Ollie in their hands. Right-hand side now with the last pick of Brock. I kind of saw that one coming because they now can just freely open up the map. There are no throwers on their own end. They have two long-range brawlers already. All three of them will heftily profit off that open map. And then Ziggy will look a bit old. Nowhere to hide behind Ollie as well. I really like the draft from that right-hand side. I do want Big Talents to win that set though, please.
Let's see some back and forth, you know. Let's not end the day on a sweep. But for Big Talents, they have got so much to do here. They haven't really had too much back and forth to be able to write home about. Those some big tests from Dompe, but immediately punished there with the poison, and that's not the start, is it?
As soon as he went out there, I let out a whimper in my heart. I knew that he was dead. I knew that the timing was off. Mine was already on the retreat. That's just not how this comp has to play out. Yes, I think Sunny is kind of more or less on the money here. Foot Esports have found the perfect solution to all their problems. The Bell just wasn't it for me, and Guesty's going to tear out more and more of this map. Big Talents, this is a comp that needs to win the first round at the very least, then trade it out for, you know, a hypercharge in the second and maybe win the third. With one round down now, it's Foot's ball in their court.
Yeah, like the first round is the one that's so pivotal for Big Talents to win. Mine going to come in, trying to connect the Hypnosis, and does so to Nob, and the mark is going to seal Guesty's demise, leaving just Angel Boy now all alone. This is good. I don't know whether the Angelo can realistically here 2v1 this, but he's going to make a good attempt to at least, if nothing else, earn some utility at the back of it. The gas not going to be coming in for a while still, but Nest not taking any chances, trying to keep that range just at bay, to not feed over, as these Dompe shots are still landing here nicely so. Yeah, Angel Boy now in a tough spot. It's got to submit, but it has handed over hypercharge to Nest.
And Dompe's got his super as well. They've managed to claw back a really, really important round, and they've got the resources to boot as well. Look at mine. He's got the super active, could combine it with Dompe or Nest. Hypercharges at the ready. And Nest as well, just making this lane adjustment now. They want to swap over Dompe, potentially try and get him in front of that unbreakable wall, and then have mine lead the charge.
I like that mark. Onto Nob. Ideally, you want to eradicate the Byron with a lovely reverse polarity gadget as well to seal it, but Nob still steps standing. Angel Boy goes now with the hypercharge and connects a lovely poison onto mine. He's got to jump away, but that's going to seal it. Beautiful tap there, but it is a 2 versus 2 here. Angel Boy low falls as well with the help of the mark. Dompe and Guesty, and Guesty's by far the taller in HP. And for Esports, despite all that back and forth, still seal the game. It's match point for Foot.
I never thought I would see a Brock better than Milcreos, but Guesty, my man, is there anything that this guy cannot play? He spotted an immediate opportunity with that rocket fuel, got that instant double kill value, and then at the very end, managed to secure it as well. Big Talents are up against the ropes, but there's some signs of life. At the very least, we know the comp will reverse polarity, almost connecting down to Nob.
I mean, they're not just up against the ropes, they're almost throwing in the towel, aren't they? Let's be honest. Nice. Oh no, that's not what you want to have happen in the first round again. It's yet another 3 versus 2. And for Esports now, we're going to absolutely farm this for all it's worth because they got so much time on their side. Let Nest heal back up. They can't escape to the gas. Big Talents now, they're just waiting for the inevitable.
Guess he's just gonna keep chaining off rocket fuel after rocket fuel to gradually open up the map. And Dompe, he made the call. He said, let's try to snipe out Nob here, but it's a gamble that doesn't pay off. You know, for Esports, they're paying attention. These kind of cheeky plays, they may work against lesser teams, but they don't work against the overlords of EMEA.
This is turning in to one of the most one-sided grand finals that I can remember in my memory in the EMEA region. For Esports are just another monster. And Big Talents took down 2, but this is just seemingly too much to handle.
Without a worthy opponent, Humble were the only team that could have potentially posed a threat to Foot Esports. Big Talents, they have to step up now if they want to join that palette. But no resources at all for them. Mine is so far from a super. They're just being pushed further and further back in the base.
But Esports are in a very advantageous position. That's a mark from Ness that could prove worthy. But Guesty has got the Rocket Rain and the Hypercharge now, and he's going to land it straight onto Ness's head. 3 versus 2 now, and surely Foot will be able to seal it from here.
The protesto comes out, the sad phrase from Guesty. You know, it almost feels personal, directed at the fans of, you know, Big Talents of today. They know that they have the numbers, they have the late game. Big Talents, though, they still want to try and hold on. They're not going to concede just yet. Dompe making a Hail Mary play here.
Guesty's in peril on that top left-hand side. Mine's going to come in, finds the Hypnosis, but still Nob stays standing. It's a 3 versus 1. Dompe falls, and Foot Esports have gone and done it. Your April monthly final champions in the EMEA region, and going into Brawl Cup as the #1 seed for EMEA.
Cool, calm, and collected as well. They don't even look pleased with that performance. They're like, what kind of a grand finals was this? It's a simple 3-0. How did these rookies even get here? Where's Humble? Where's my, you know, difficult grand finals? We prepped for Humble. Who are these guys?
They wanted to have a really good opponent, and I think they got it today in Big Talents, regardless of that 3-0 in the end. It doesn't really pay justice just how well Big Talents played up today. Still, this is the first time in EMEA we have a 3-0 sweep in the final, so at least we got our money's worth in the last couple of months. Today I feel like we didn't really. We had way too many 3-0s. This was one of the quickest monthly finals we had all year.
Yeah, I feel like we were kind of pushing it, weren't we, really? I mean, going back to last month, we had 4 3-2 scorelines. We were due a couple of 3-0s in the EMEA region. I feel like going into Brawl Cup, though, for Esports are, in my opinion, the team to beat so far. I mean, we'll see, of course, you know, how things fare in other regions before the month is through, but I mean, they've just been so consistent. I mean, a Grand Finals appearance in every month, 2 Grand Finals victories, and their closest opposition of Humble wiped out in today's quarterfinals. I mean, this wasn't the script that I was expecting coming into today, but boy, oh boy, does EMEA continue to surprise.
I am very surprised. It's been an absolute pleasure to witness this firsthand and to witness the rise of Guesty as not just a rookie of the year that's, you know, pushing into new frontiers here. I mean, we talked about how is this kid a little bit overhyped. He was just a sort of Macherino farmer, and he was playing with Angel Boy and Nob a whole lot. How many times are people going to doubt him? He's won now 2 monthly finals in his debut. The only person that could ever gap him mechanically is probably no one. I didn't see Humble beating him mechanically. I saw them punching him as a team, and I saw Guesty fumbling in over his own, you know, under pressure. This is not what happened today. He was so chill. Angel Boy, they were smiling the whole time. They said, there's no Humble. This is a free 3-0.
And we have always talked about Guesty, the wonder child, being so good on those aggressive brawlers. After last month, many people were saying maybe they were a bit too aggressive. And then he shows up today with a Pierce, with the Brock, dropping 7 kills now also in that last knockout set, and proves to us that he can literally play anything. At any time. Maybe, hopefully, also for them in Berlin at the Brawl Cup. We're gonna have one last look at our bracket of today's EMEA April monthly final. It was a short day, wasn't it?
It was a very quick one. I mean, look at that. I mean, that is honestly crazy. Absolutely crazy that only 1 match went to the 4th set. I honestly think this is historic for this region. And just, I have no words. I really don't. I mean, it just donuts all around except for that 1 match is just insanity.
That's very true. The only winner today who has ever dropped a single set was Madrid in the end. Such a surprising day. And I'm very happy to say we now once more get Angel Boy in our winner interview. Congratulations to you. This is the second time this year I get to talk to you. I'm blessed. Hello, Angel Boy. After falling short against Humble last month, how satisfying is it to bounce back immediately and reclaim the monthly finals title now in April?
I mean, with all due respect to the team that we faced, but it's nowhere near the competitive teams like Humble or Team Heretics or like Navi. I mean, I think those teams had a really bad day, and I wish it was like we would face them in the finals, in the semis, because we prepared a lot for Team Heretics, for example. But yeah, just to everyone we faced. For example, Big Talents, I was actually very surprised by their drafting, and they weren't really nervous. So it was a pretty good tournament anyway.
I mean, after they took down some giants already, maybe they were not as nervous as they should be against you, but I promise you, anyone would be nervous facing up against Foot Esports at the moment. Foot continues to look like one of the absolute strongest teams in the world. What do you think separates your roster from the rest of EMEA?
I think we are all hungry for the wins. And we are very like open to each other in terms of like how we communicate with each other. We work a lot on our mistakes, and we don't really hold back when we talk about it. So we are all always trying to improve, and I hope that we will get better. Day by day.
Talking about mistakes here, a lot was said about Foot maybe playing a bit too over-aggressive after the loss against Humble last month, especially under pressure. Do you feel like that coming into this month you have learned from the past?
No, I think we just we just had a bad day that month, and yeah, I knew it, so it's like it's fine. Like it happens. If our worst day is like one game away from victory, I mean it happens, but we will work to not make it happen ever again.
Foot Esports has a bad day, and then, oh no, they only come second in the monthly finals. How unfortunate. With Berlin and the Brawl Cup now getting closer and closer, how confident are you that this team can carry this performance also into a LAN?
I mean, the key is to play calm on the stage, and it will be like the second one to Guesty, the first big one. I just hope that I will be able to be a good example by being calm with him, and I hope he'll be like not nervous. He will like play his to his level, and also Nope. I hope he will get visa. That's all I want. So yeah.
All right, celebrate well, Angel Boy. You deserve it. Your whole team played out of their minds once again for the third time in a row.
Thank you, Sam.
And I hope they take their quick break before the Brawl Cup also to get even better. Let's see how they will do on that global stage. They truly deserve that celebration for the third time in a row in the grand finals, for the second time now, the winner of it all.
I thought interesting as well to talk about the teams which Angel Boy felt he was expecting to face in that grand finals. And he mentioned Navi. Well, Big Talent beat Navi. I mean, you can't say they didn't earn their place in that grand finals, but I feel like, yeah, I think for all of us here on the desk, we weren't expecting that to be the grand finals of the day. But for Esports, I feel like going now into the Brawl Cup, they've got their eye on first place. I feel like anything less than that is kind of going to be a bad day in the office for them. They're the team to beat so far, and we haven't even secured all of our slots yet.
We had some phenomenal drafts across the board today, and in every single region so far, we've seen different global bans. Last month, for example, we had in East Asia Glowy banned out every single time. Now, this month, it looks very similar between East Asia and EMEA. The only one that kind of sticks out like a sore thumb here is Mortis, who EMEA seems to value a lot more than East Asia.
I think they've realized EMEA is a region that likes to play it very strategically, and as I mentioned, Mortis is a brawler that just throws all those plans up into chaos. But by banning out the Mortis though, it did allow for certain other teams to capitalize. I think I'm still gonna go back to Big Talents here and the way that they drafted throughout the day. Angel Boy did just say that Navi had a bad day, so did Humble, but it's a bad drafting day in particular. I think the gameplay wise, honestly, they still tried their very hardest. It didn't look too bad, but when you've got global bans like this, it makes me question, like, was the Mortis ban really that necessary?
This is the last time we're seeing EMEA before the Brawl Cup. Next is Berlin, at least for Humble and Foot. Cup in Berlin is coming to May 15th and 17th. The two teams that go there for the EMEA region are Foot Esports and Humble. Now with their official seeding, we also know who they're going to face, Ark.
Interesting stuff, yeah. A0 from Humble in that Group A. For Esports down there with Toxic Lotus in Group D as well. Revenant Xbox Boo down there in Group C against Crazy Raccoon, and Zeta Vision over into Group B also. And we'll see how things shape up to be as more and more teams kind of get confirmed. But I've got to say, Group D for me is looking spicy. Toxic Lotus as well, a team that, for me over the years has been growing from strength to strength, and I feel like deserve a spot at the World Finals. Obviously in that region it's a tougher thing to manage, but I feel like Toxic Lotus could definitely show some worth actually. For Esports are going to definitely be the team to beat in that group so far though for me.
It would be an absolute underdog story for sure. I think I said it time and time again that Toxic Lotus are always an underdog story, but this, because of the fact that Foot has just made seed number 1, it is truly the biggest of gaps of the region. And I have to bear in mind that Toxic Lotus didn't even finish top 1 in China, which is why they ended up in that seeding position. So Group D, I mean, I don't know who's going to come from NA to join them. It could be the group of death.
Some spicy groups already, and by the end of this month, by the end of next weekend actually, we will know just how exactly all of these groups are looking for our Brawl Cup. One last look also at the leaderboard of EMEA, and I'm sure a lot has shifted. Coming into today, I did say today could be causing some huge upsets and a shake-up of this leaderboard, and it's looking very different than from the beginning of the show.
This is really, really wild. I mean, Madrid, big talents, shoving their way forwards. I mean, Reply Totem, I mean, I think they're fortunate to still be in 6th, considering they weren't even competing here today. For SK, who were, they're now down in 8th, and I mean, I'm sure Nova Esports can't be, far behind either, who are just off this leaderboard. It's just wild, absolutely wild, and I feel like we're going to see some serious heartbreak in this region as the months continue forwards.
I'm excited for the Brawl Cup. I'm so excited for the summer split as well. And thinking back to last year where EMEA did snatch up both the extra World Finals and
it was
pretty greedy, getting both of the slots. If that happens again this year because Humble and Foot are just a step above everyone else, if Crazy Raccoon doesn't do their job like they did if Crazy and Zeta basically fold under pressure, or if the new North American squads don't seem to rise up to the rest of the world, we see a repeat of that, then maybe we could see big talents make a land.
We're gonna see if they qualify. Again, they came close twice today. They showed us that they have what it takes to make it all the way through to the grand finals. And maybe in the future, they're the ones to finally take down Foot Esports. What a story that would be. Humble, after today, kind of felt like they threw away their efforts from the last 2 months. But honestly, looking at that leaderboard, guys, it's okay. You're still 70 points ahead of everyone else. Calm down. That's just like in the interview before Inge Boy. We had a bad day last month. We lost to Humble. We had a really bad day. They still were 2nd in their region. So if that's my bad day, I'm quite happy, honestly. You make sure to lock in your predictions next weekend once more. We're coming back with SA on Saturday, NA on Sunday. You want to get those rewards. And as I said, after next weekend, we know how the groups for Brawl Cup are going to look. So make sure to tune in again. Thank you so much for being here with us today.